Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of SnarkAlec Radio. Joining me, as always, the man with the piercing eyes and milky thighs, Kelly Toole.
Oh my God. Whoa! Hi, everybody. This is Kelly, the Kelly, at KELLYTHUL on Twitter. That is not going to be my Twitter bio. And do you want to continue the introductions, Mike? Because I think I hope you have something comparable for the rest of the folks on the show.
Oh, absolutely. With us, as always, the master of all things SnarkAlec Radio, Emperor Solo.
Hi, everybody. I was expecting something a little bit worse than that, but okay, I'll go with that one.
Me too.
And he's just an assistant looking for a lucky lady to be his TARDIS for the night, Dylan Lang.
Hello, everybody. Glad to be back on again.
How is everybody?
Doing quite well, Mike. You seem to be a little bit slow tonight, though.
You're exceptionally creepy this evening, Mike.
Did you just say I was exceptionally creepy this evening?
Yes.
As if to suggest that other evenings I am also creepy?
You heard me correctly.
Yes, your creep factor is high tonight. Your creep factor is high.
Mike's creep is strong.
Well, do you want to give us the news, Tony?
Okay, I was waiting for you to introduce the news, but okay, here we go.
And here with the no. You get the question. And here with the news, Tony Solo.
Well, thank you for that warm welcome there, Mr. Mike. And here we go with the news. Birthdays. We've got some. Hey, you know, John Lennon would have been 74 today. So today was John Lennon's birthday. Melinda, Silken Soul, it's her birthday. She is 22 today, so we want to wish her a happy birthday. On Sunday, October 12th, it's Holly's birthday. Holly Wilson is going to be 18 years old, and for her birthday, I got her a new season of The Walking Dead. So thank me very much, Holly. On Monday, Columbus Day, October 13th, it is Wicked Fun's birthday, Beck, and I have it on good word that she is going to be 198 years old on Monday, so don't forget to wish her a happy birthday on Monday, and I heard that from Kelly. He's the one who told me she was 198.
It's like Betty White territory.
Yeah. So not this Saturday coming up, but the following Saturday on the 18th, which I think that might be wrong, because isn't the 15th next? Today is the 8th, 9th, 16th. It's got to be the 17th. Wrong date. Sorry, guys. Finders Keepers is going to be on Sci-Fi. So there's no movie this week, but the following week, Finders Keepers. Dylan Knows is going to be when?
Tomorrow, actually, because of, unfortunately, some scheduling conflicts. We'll be doing our show live 9 o'clock tomorrow. It's going to be my list show with Gigi Fletcher. We'll be doing the top 10, in honor of Halloween, the top 10 monsters, creatures, like zombies, vampires, werewolves, stuff like that. We'll talk some scary stuff, so it should be a blast.
Betty White.
Are you going to end by 10 o'clock?
No, I'm going to probably tape Z Nation. I'll probably watch it again, because I tended to like it better, because I watched it, because we didn't catch it last Friday. I watched it yesterday. In preparation for today, and I actually really enjoyed this episode, so maybe it's just the timing. I watched it like at 9 o'clock. I wasn't as tired as I usually am Friday night, so maybe it's what it was. So we'll check it out again sometime, but we probably won't be done by 10, but I'm definitely DVRing it. Dawn will be watching it live, so she'll be joining you guys, so she'll be watching with you guys and chatting with you, so, and I'll watch it sometime this weekend probably. Maybe Saturday.
And okay, so on Sunday we've got the return of The Walking Dead, so that's great because the strain ended and we've got The Walking Dead. And before we get to the Boo of the Week, Mike had some news he wanted to share, so I'll throw it back to our fearless leader for the evening, Mr. Mikey B.
Hey! Was that more upbeat and less creepy, Kelly?
Nah, it's still creepy.
Everything's relative.
So you're bumping Boo of the Week for this, so it better be good.
It's fantastic. Beginning on Sunday, and one for each day from Sunday till our next episode on Thursday, on the Zazzle store, the Loud and Loaded Zazzle store, zazzle.com/loudandloaded, we're going to have a new shirt inspired by one of you three gentlemen each day.
That's not good.
Okay.
I don't recall signing a waiver.
We're going to kick things off on Sunday with a Kelly-inspired shirt.
No.
Okay, we've got one more minute. One more minute. Fuck it! That's fucking scary.
Each day we'll reveal a new shirt, and it'll be inspired by one of the three gentlemen, Dylan, Kelly, and, of course, Mr. Solo.
Okay, so let's move right along to.
Well, before we do, I just want to clarify. So, if for any kind of legal contact, Mike, is that directly with you, or do you have representation?
Kelly, of course, agreed to all of this. Don't believe his silly jokes that he's making here.
Boy.
Kelly approved the design of his shirt and specifically requested that he gets to kick it off.
These are all lies. I'm assuming everybody knows it, but if not, they're all lies. So I'm very scared for Sunday. You're going to ruin Walking Dead Day for me. It's like the greatest.
I'm going to enhance Walking Dead Day for you, sir. Not only are you getting in the new season of Walking Dead kicking off, you're getting a t-shirt inspired by you. You're living the American dream.
Okay, so we might have a little bit of a problem because Laura tweeted out something about a couple of minutes ago that says she can't hear anybody, and then Vicky retweeted it. So I'm trying to find out where they're watching. So
Laura's watching on her BlackBerry.
Yeah. So
sound,
Well, if you get a dickweed tweet, she heard that.
Yeah, that's true. If she can't hear it.
If she can hear it. So, Kel, Boo of the Week, and then we'll.
Sure. So, Boo of the Week, I took copious notes for Boo of the Week because it was needs to come from Dark Hall. So, many good candidates for this week. John McGevna and Don Snarks, actually, when the gas station blew up, I had tweeted out, I guess that attendant got fired. And McGevna gave that a big boo, and Dawn gave that a really and a boo. So those were very nice. But returning to her greatness, Pirate Mel, had right out of the gate when we had the birth kind of thing going on there. At the beginning, I tweeted out, "Whoom, there it is, whoom, there it is," and she very quickly booed, and so I'm giving it to Pirate Mel, returning to Boo of the Week status. Congratulations, Pirate Mel.
Okay. So.
Now, did you have any other news, Tony?
Did I have any other news? No, I did not have any other news, but news is done.
Did you want to move on to maybe talking more in depth about Dark Hall then?
Yes, we did. Did you actually watch that movie, Mike?
No, but I'll pretend like I did, and you'll have no idea that I didn't.
Okay. Well, I kind of liked Dark Hall because everybody died, just about. I did have a big quibble with the movie, but we can get on with that a little later. So, Mike, remember how the movie started? It started like 300 years ago, and when the 13th child has their 13th child, that child is cursed and it becomes the Jersey Devil. Okay?
Yes, I remember all of that.
Right. So for some, I guess the place that they were
Condoms, kids.
Yes. Yeah, they didn't have them back then. But for some reason, they had to move the Jersey Devil.
Didn't they use animal intestines as condoms?
I think they used lambskins. Yes.
Who was the first person to think of that?
Probably
some shepherd that was.
I think it was a Trojan.
So it wasn't a Greek. It wasn't someone from Greek.
Yeah,
Greece.
Should have been
It was.
but I believe it was a Trojan.
I'm just trying to picture the thought process there. Like someone's
So it was.
looking out over a sheep like, if only we had another use. Wait. Got it.
It was a shepherd from Troy then who probably was the first one to use lambskin.
Yeah,
guessing.
tending his flock had some other meaning back then too. So
Yeah, and we know it wasn't anybody from the island of Lesbos that was involved with this whole thing. So, anyway, so
All of
they
which
had-
is explained in Dark Hall. Everything we just spoke about.
one of the things that Mike should know about is that so they were holding the Jersey Devil in the Pine Barrens, which is a big area in the lower middle of the state, which is all preserved space, and
Which,
it's
if I
only-
remember my geography correctly, is right between New Jersey's right between Canada and Hawaii, correct?
It's east of that, yeah. But
Okay, near Springfield.
no, that's nowhere near Springfield.
I wish I was a Pine Barren.
Yeah. Boo.
Behold my pine. Anyway.
So here goes my big quibble with the movie. You can get from the Jersey Shore into Pennsylvania in about an hour, hour and a half, maybe two, depending on where you're coming from. Like if you're way down south in Cape May, which is not in the Pine Barrens, you can still get into Pennsylvania in about 2 hours. And this truck, actually, they had to stop somewhere and stay overnight because they never got out of New Jersey. New Jersey's not that freaking big, okay? So that was my big quibble, but then everybody dying was great.
It's difficult though if you aren't familiar with the East Coast, because New Jersey is very post-apocalyptic chic, and between the explosions and constantly burning fires and mercenary groups, it is difficult to navigate if you aren't familiar with the area.
Well, go ahead, Dill.
I'm just saying, if you want to be honest, that was the truck from hell anyway. It needed gas, and then the engine broke.
Well, yeah. Well, that's because the Jersey Devil has this power that he can put suggestions into your mind and make you see things. They call them halos in this movie, and it made and this was the funny thing. Okay, he could make it seem like the guy next to you was trying to kill you, so everybody had guns and they just start shooting each other. Mike, you remember that part?
I do. That was one of my favorite scenes.
Okay, so after the first time it happened, wouldn't you think, and guns don't work on this creature, wouldn't you think you just put the guns away and you lock them up? Because
Whoa,
they're not...
This is America with a capital M. I'm not putting my gun down, Tony.
Well, I mean, I'm not talking about you putting your gun down. I'm talking about the characters in this movie, which was totally fictional. Should have done that.
They were in New Jersey.
Yeah, and the funny thing about New Jersey is it's got some pretty tough gun laws, and so they go into this diner at one place. Remember that part, Mike, where they went into the diner?
Oh, the diner? Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody was packing in this freaking diner. It was like there was 30 people in this diner, okay? And the creature gave halos to everybody in this diner, and everybody was just shooting at everybody else. It was awesome. And I was like, damn. There's a lot of people packing in Jersey.
Is that what your experience has been living there?
Nobody's got nobody's got guns around here, dude. And so Laura was watching on Google. She reloaded, and she did that just in time to hear Kelly talk about her BlackBerry. So she called you a DW.
Yes, she did. And Vicky Desso is now also apparently able to hear us. So Vicky Desso, I'm glad that you were able to hear us now. And
So
Vicky
Vicky
Desso
Desso is watching?
I
Yes,
believe
she is.
Vicky Desso is watching.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that Holly Wilson is also watching, because we did wish her a happy birthday, and I just want her to know again that we did give her The Walking Dead for her birthday. And there's another picture of Kelly with a big boo on it for you there, Mr. Kel, that Laura tweeted out.
Oh. Too late for Boo of the Week, Laura.
Maybe Boo of the next week.
Yeah, we'll
So
take it in consideration.
Did you guys have anything to comment other than Mike, because he's basically agreed with everything I've said so far?
Yeah. So I liked it. I enjoyed it. I mean, I thought it was a good, entertaining movie. The actress who played the red-haired ninja girl was fairly active on Twitter, throwing out behind-the-scenes shots and stuff like that throughout, which was actually very cool. So I don't really want to pick on her because she was actually very nice and did what I thought was a pretty good job in the whole movie, or did a good job in the whole movie, with the one exception of she did not look particularly comfortable with a sword. At least that was my sense, is it was a little awkward, and she had a lot of sword time, and it was some of the more awkward. I'm kind of used to more of the Michonne sword play, which is a pretty kind of fluid and thing. But I liked the movie. I thought it was fun. I liked that they got Ric Flair a job as a priest. I thought that was good. So I liked it all.
Okay.
But I think we're going to take a break.
And then we'll finish it up with Dylan, and we'll go into other things, I guess.
Okay.
All right, everyone. You're enjoying SnarkAlec Radio on Live 365's Loud and Loaded station, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to SnarkAlec Radio on Live 365's Loud and Loaded station. Joining us, as always, are Kelly and Tony, and we've learned deep, dark, insightful personal information about Kelly, which, of course, will be expressed on his T-shirt on Sunday. And we're about to hear Dylan's opinion of Dark Hall.
It was alright. It was a really long day, so I guess maybe I wasn't fully invested in it, but it was entertaining enough, and it was great to see all the actors, not all of them, but there's at least two of them that I know of that were active on the Twitter. The female you mentioned earlier, and then the guy who played her handler, not
Nick, the other guy.
Yeah, the other guy. He was on there too, and he was retweeting things left and right and commenting, and he pretty much got what we were doing. I mean, he wasn't insulted by us. He wasn't, he didn't think we were making fun of him. And he was sort of making fun of his own self as well, and was just responding to everybody. So I love it when the actors get it, and they understand that it's done in good fun, and we don't truly hate something. We're just sort of teasing them with it. I mean, if we really hate something, you'll know it. But, this we were just sort of teasing with it, and I was glad that he got that and was involved in that as well. So it was good. I mean, good Halloween horror thing to watch, and hopefully keep it up. And Finders Keepers rolls around in a couple weeks.
There was a point during, and this is funny, that dude, I can't remember the character's name, but the actor that was tweeting from the movie, actually retweeted one of my tweets from the Strain, because at one point we were talking about dildos during the Strain, and
it is a shock.
Yeah, and at one point I had tweeted out something like, "Hey, that's Nick's dildo, and he wants it back." And I hashtagged it with Dark Hall, and I hashtagged it with the Strain. And he gave me an LOL and hashtagged it because he had seen the tweets from the night before.
So yeah, I just like it when they get it, they enjoy it, they enjoy it with us, and they get it, and it makes it a lot more enjoyable.
Well, there was one. Go ahead, Kel.
I was gonna say we've had, and realistic, and it's for more movies than not, because that's how we connected up with Allison Victoria. That's how we connected up with Christina Bach. Is that it's cool when the actors are engaged like that, and kind of take it that we're not always mean spirited. A couple of our tweets are mean spirited, but not always.
Do you remember at one point, and I think it was T. Scott Braveboy who said something like, "I can't believe that." Like, they're laughing because they couldn't believe that they got enough money to crash a truck. I know you were involved in something along those lines, Kel. I saw the tweet. I don't know if it was you who initially tweeted it or if it was T. Scott. Do you remember that?
I think it was T. Scott who did.
Yes, it was.
And that got a retweet from that dude and an LOL.
He was retweeting a lot.
Yeah.
He and MJ Khan were having a conversation back and forth. It seemed like, they were retweeting each other and having like chats back and forth. MJ was on that night. He was hilarious.
He's a sleeper, man. You know, he's not always the highest volume, but every punch is precise. He does it. Well, he's strong.
You know what I generally do, and then we need to get into this strain because we have to move along. But I generally will go into the hashtag and look at the hashtag, but I always jump back over to the SnarkAlec feed just so I could see what people are saying in our feed, just in case I miss anything. And MJ is always one of the better ones. But keep an eye on that Amy.
She's a rock star.
She is a rock star. She is an up and comer. She's in the bantamweight right now, but she may be good enough to fight with the big boys soon.
Oh, I think I have lost the crown of pun. And I'm angry about it, but that's okay because she's strong. She's very good. It's fun. She's been great. I don't know how many. It's been a couple weeks now that she's been connected, and she's a great addition. So.
Yeah. No, she's been around for a little bit longer than that, but she's been really strong. But I think we're done with Dark Hall now, Mike. So what's next?
Well, I was going to say we can move into the stream, but did you want to give Kelly an opportunity to talk about what's behind him right now? And I don't mean the man in the gimp outfit.
There's a window behind me.
Okay. It's some kind of island. Are you on Gilligan's Island there, Kel?
Not Gilligan's. It's actually a treasure island. It's full of treasure and old ladies with oxygen.
So what's that over your right shoulder?
So I don't. My right. This one. This?
Yeah. Is that your right or is that your left? Are you reversed?
It's my right, but I just wanted to be sure. So I've never brought this up before.
We're all agreed on what side right is, correct?
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's this side, Mike. You see this side? Okay.
For those listening on the radio, Kelly just flipped
Kelly.
He just flipped Mike the Bird.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's not something you do to a guy who teaches you left and right.
Do this.
Give you everything.
L is the left.
You're getting a T-shirt inspired by you on Sunday. Come on.
Yeah, and probably a tidy settlement as well. So I'm looking forward to both. So it'll be very nice. We do a lot of live tweeting, and one time, for a while, Sci-Fi was giving out movie paraphernalia.
And just then is when Kelly audio was all gimpy and shit.
Oh no!
So you're gonna have to start over.
It kind of looked like you had a mini stroke. The way your face froze on my screen.
I did.
That or it was your O face. Put your hands up.
Okay. You good? You good, Mike? Got my hands up again. There you go. Anyway, I haven't told people before, but I've won the Piranaconda egg on Twitter, or it was a giveaway.
Get the fuck out of here!
Yeah, I know. I don't like to talk about it.
I thought we were your friends.
I know, but it's just
You told us.
It'd be prideful to kind of share that I had won it. So that's not me. That's not what I do. But I did happen to win it, so I just thought for tonight I would commemorate it and have it up there. And it's a censored egg because I'm in a location that requires censorship. So.
Okay. So whatever happens there has to stay there.
That would be wise.
What sort of things have you done today, Kelly, that would need to be censored?
He can't tell you. He can't tell you.
That's right. What's our next topic?
So it's Mike, I'm gonna take the wind out from under you because I'm just am.
How
The
much
strain
wind is under Mike?
I don't know. It depends on what
Put your hands up, please.
So it's a show we haven't watched. I mean, we haven't watched. We haven't talked about on SnarkAlec Radio, but everybody here has been watching religiously The Strain, and we wanted to talk about it briefly. The entire season in 3 minutes.
And Kelly, go.
Haven't watched it.
Great start. Great start.
Okay, let's move. No, I know you've watched.
Segment's awesome so far.
I've seen some of it. I'm not all the way caught up, so I think Dylan and Tony need to talk about it, and Mike, because you guys have. You're further along. Spoil away.
Oh, I thought you finished it up, dude.
No, I have attention issues. Didn't do it. Go ahead, though.
Alrighty. Dylan, what'd you think?
I actually enjoyed it a little bit more than I thought I would. It looked entertaining when they were showing all the viral ads and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I hadn't read the books, and it's Guillermo del Toro, so I figured, it's vampires, a new take on vampires. So watched it. Started a little slow, but still entertaining, and then it just skyrocketed, and I absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. The vampires are vicious and evil. You've got the master is. He's evil in his own right, but I mean, Eichhorn is like a second-hand man. His right-hand man is even worse than the Master is, in my opinion. I think he's a lunatic.
So was Eichhorn the former CEO of Disney too?
That wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
But absolutely loved it. Loved the idea of the vampires not really necessarily sucking blood and turning them into vampires, rather injecting people with little parasites that turn them into the vampires. I think that's kind of cool. So, and interesting characters. I mean, some annoying characters, but you need to have some annoying characters. And that's followed up by some of the really cool characters. Fed is pretty cool, and Abraham is awesome, and the Vampire Hit Squad. That has been introduced recently has been pretty cool, and I keep forgetting the Spanish criminal's name. It's
Gus.
What's his name? Gus. Gus is. I'm starting to like him a lot too. So, the whiny Ephraim is annoying the hell out of me. Nora annoys the hell out of me. I don't care either way about F's son. He doesn't really annoy me as much, but he's just there. So, good characters, interesting characters. I'm not a big fan of Dutch, but good villains, good characters, good story ideas, and enough from what I've like Jerry and Dawn have read the books, and they said that they follow them pretty religiously, sort of similar to Walking Dead, but they do their little side shoots here and there to make it a little bit different for everybody. So doing that, I guess, helps out a little bit instead of saying, okay, this is what's going to happen next. This is what's going to happen next. So there's my take, guys.
Mike.
Call me crazy, but I prefer my vampires to be sparkly and well-groomed.
Okay, so let's call Mike crazy because you can go screw yourself because, again, everybody knows Tony's feeling about vampires. They can't come out during the day, no way they come out during the day. They got to stay away from sunlight. Even on a cloudy day, they can't come out because they don't sparkle.
You need to kind of back off vampires not being able to come out, because I think the gay vampire is something to be respected, and you probably need to modify your opinion, but that's just me.
You heard it first. Kelly's looking for that gay vampire to complete his life.
That wasn't quite what I said.
It's exactly what he said.
The T-shirt.
Verbatim.
Actually, it's what Mike said is not a big stretch there, Cal.
I was going more for your social retardation, but okay, whatever.
No, honestly, though, I hate the Twilight vampire thing. Vampire shows and movies that have been coming out in the last few years have sort of killed vampires. Vampires went from one of my favorite monsters to something, if I even heard was remotely vampire-related, I would stay away from it because of Twilight, Vampire Diaries, and all that kind of stuff. So, I like this a lot. I love the whole parasite angle. My only real sort of quibble with it is the Guillermo del Toro style vampire with the mouth opening up, and he's done this like 6 or 7 times now in different projects that he's either directed, written, or produced. So I just kind of feel like they could have come up with a different design. He even literally did it on The Simpsons. He guest directed a scene on The Simpsons this past season and used it on The Simpsons. So I just want to see a different look to the vampires. But other than that, I really enjoyed the show.
I enjoyed the show. It did get off to a kind of a slow start. Dylan, could you shut that off, please?
Sorry.
It got off to a slow start, but once it started picking up some steam, because you know, at the beginning, the first 4 episodes or so, you really didn't know what was going on, and then all of a sudden, when the crap started hitting the fan, it's pretty good the way they had it paced, because it was a slow build, you know, and I was a little. I don't want to say disappointed in the end. I had a little conversation with Mike the other day about it, in the finale, how that ended. Like, the master was right there, and they were just standing there looking at him, you know, and they did nothing. And I could say that without giving anything away. But I like most of the characters. F is annoying the hell out of me, and one of the my favorite scenes in the whole series so far was when F was complaining to Dutch about, you know, her computer skills. She couldn't do anything, and then she went on to explain to him how they were going to hack into the emergency alert system, and that was just awesome. I don't know if Kelly's in that deep, but that was pretty cool.
How deep are you in there, Kelly?
Not that deep.
And on that note, Tony's double fisting us right now. So we're going to take a quick break here on SnarkAlec Radio, live 365's Loud and Loaded station. We'll be right back. And welcome back to SnarkAlec Radio on live 365's Loud and Loaded station. Joining us as always, Kelly, Tony, and tonight, very special guest from Dylan Knows and the Assistant. We have Dylan Lang. And Kelly, I think you're about to say something about how deep you like to get in there.
You would have been incorrect, Mike. That was a misstep on your part. A misread of the situation, so we can move right along.
I'm sorry, you were sending mixed signals.
So, do we want to move on to the next topic?
Kelly, anything else you want to add to this? I know you're not completely caught up with it, but what are your thoughts on what you've seen so far?
Well, in a little cross-show promotion, back in the day, Mel had recommended the book, the series, The Strain, and then this was before the series started, and so it's you know, the book, you know, the people that are book fans. Now, so have you read the book, Tony?
I have it on my iPad. It's geared up. I'm probably going to start sometime early next year. I've got, you know, the series, so I'm probably going to start reading it. But I'm going to try and pace it so I don't outpace the TV show.
Yeah, but it sounds. Dylan, Mike, either of you read the series?
No, I haven't.
I acquired the first book a while ago, and Jen took it off of me when I was a few chapters in, and she just overtook the book, and it's her book now. And
it was nice to see you wear the pants in the family. Anyway,
yeah, and you want to know something? Like Mike is a big guy, and Jen is this little thing. I'm sure he could just manhandle it away from her, but she'd probably kick his ass.
And since we have seen actually the whole pants in the family issue, since Mike does sport the nun habit on occasion, that he is not the pants wearer of the family. So
it's very true. And in fact, I've never worn pants on this show, other than a couple of the times I've been joined by someone here, and I'm excluding Vex in that.
No, I don't really have much to add in terms of. So I'm about 5 episodes in of it. I am enjoying it quite a bit. There's a little bit that it is nice to have kind of a different take on vampires, but the different take is a take that this guy's taken, like Mike was talking about. But it's still kind of cool. So I think it's a good show. It's just been a little difficult for me to keep up.
Okay.
So you've been far enough into it to see the master, though.
Yes.
Does he look more like an earthworm or a penis to you?
He actually doesn't look like either one of those things. He kind of looks more like Yoda on steroids.
Yoda doesn't need steroids. That was so cute.
Yeah, I'm mentally comparing Yoda to a penis. Okay.
Yeah,
So-
for the 5th time today.
Again.
Yeah.
So do you guys want to talk a little bit about Zombie Massacre?
Well, hey Dylan, do you have Netflix?
No, I don't think we do.
Okay. Well, there is a movie called Zombie Massacre that I suggested that Kelly watch, and I believe Mike may have watched it also. He's familiar with the movie, and
Yes.
at a certain point, Mr. Toole tweeted out that he was watching Zombie Massacre thanks to his ex-friend Tony Solo. So what the hell was that all about? I told you it wasn't a good movie.
Yeah, I was embittered. I'm over it now, but it's kind of like the Troll 2 thing. It's like, it was so good, it was so bad it was good kind of thing. So, but I just felt to give you a little shout out to let you know I was feeling pain because I thought that
Okay.
would be a positive thing for you. So.
Yeah, it was definitely painful to watch. But we talked about it a little bit more last week on the show with the director, Uwe Boll, and how he goes out of his way to make bad movies, and this was definitely one of those. But I've got 2 more for you. I tweeted one to you. Kill Zombie. It's a foreign film set in the Netherlands, and it has subtitles, but they attempt to and achieve the black comedy. It is funny. There is some really funny bits in that movie. So, and that's also on Netflix. It's free. So definitely highly recommend because it's good. It's rated low, but it is a good movie, and it really is. There is some visuals in it. Another movie that I don't recommend you watch, so that means you should watch it, is Germ Z. That is also on Netflix. You can see it for free. Big quibble in that one, but I will only talk about it if you guys watch it. And did you ever catch up on Zombie Lake, Kel?
I have not. I did Zombie Massacre, and I know this is not following Mike's prescribed order of viewing the movies, and I've totally skipped Zombie Lake. I know. I feel bad about it, but I'll get Zombie Lake knocked off. But so between since I have lots of catching up to do, between Germ Z and Kill Zombie, which would be your first recommendation of those 2?
Okay. Okay, so for a movie that you would sit there and probably enjoy watching because it's pretty decent, one drawback is you got to read subtitles. But it's not that bad, is Kill Zombie. Germ Z, big quibble, but the one thing it does have going for it, and I will give this away, near the beginning of the movie, they do the Jaws autopsy scene. So, I mean, when they did that, I was like, okay, they're paying homage to Jaws. I will watch it because I was getting to the point. Not that it was that bad, because it was pretty decently acted, but there's a big. Okay, I'm going to tell you what the big problem is. There is a big continuity problem in the movie. You can't miss it because the entire movie takes place in the daytime, except for one part which takes place at night, and it actually splits a day in half. So they're in the daytime, and okay, I'll give it away completely. This girl's on a bike, and she's riding her bike home. Then they go, it becomes night, first zombie attack happens, and then the girl is just getting home on her bike after it. So it didn't take her, like, she wasn't on her bike overnight. So they messed up big time in that movie. But and it's great because the way some of the zombies die, so it's worth it to just for that. But if I was going to be proud of one of those recommendations, I would definitely say Kill Zombie first before Germsy.
I plan on getting some Netflix probably next year because I'm a big comic guy, and the Daredevil series is going to be out on Netflix next year, so I want to catch that head up live. So when I do, I'll let you guys know, and you guys can send me the list of the movies you recommend and check those out as well.
Yeah, and just be aware, Dylan. A lot of the stuff that I like to watch, I'd rather watch a bad movie going in knowing it's bad because I could sit there and just laugh my ass off, rather than watch something and it just be mediocre, or if there's something I can find wrong with it, then I'll recommend it. But I always qualify my recommendations, and Kill Zombie is not bad. Biggest drawback is, like I said, is the subtitle thing.
Well, and I did follow some of Mike's direction in that I did not only watch Zombie Massacre, but I watched the boxing series that's on YouTube of Uwe Uwe,
right?
Uwe Boll, yeah. Who, by the way, him as president,
with an Irish accent, okay, and saying "fuck this, fuck that."
Thinking about a ranch in Texas, It's just like, really? You're from a different part of Texas than I'm familiar.
Well, that was really my thing that I wanted to bring up about the movie. So, would you guys vote for Uwe Boll for president?
No.
No.
No, I would not.
I do like you gave that. You seem to give that real consideration, though. You were weighing the pros and cons.
I was trying to think of the Arnold Schwarzenegger character guy's name. He would have been the only one that I would have, voted for. But I mean, all of the characters that were supposed to be Mr. Secretary had an Irish accent. The general had a Scottish accent. So like none of these people like even tried, and that dude had that stupid beard. Nobody in the military wears beard, especially if they're generals, but he had this beard that went from about here to here. It wasn't a goatee, and I don't know what you call it. But it definitely was like a Eurotrash type beard. I just found it very funny.
Eurotrash beard, great band name.
So, Kelly, what did you think of the boxing videos?
So I enjoyed those quite a bit. Because he just beat the crap out of everyone that we saw. Now, as I did some more kind of research on it and all those types of things, and then it sounds as if there was ever a critic that might actually have a little bit of boxing background or was larger than him, those fights didn't happen. He picked the little Weasley guys to beat the crap out of, which I think is wise. but no, I enjoyed them all and watched them repeatedly because it was he was, and then they had interviews with the folks afterwards, like, oh, I thought we were doing this for charity, and he was actually hitting me, and I'm like, well, when you walk into a boxing ring, are you really that surprised when someone actually starts hitting you? Because that's what they do. But, no,
a few of them seemed to think that it was going to be staged, and then were caught off guard when it was not.
And he's sitting there with no headgear, and they're all basically almost armored up with Kevlar, and he's still just beating the living crap out of every one of them. So I appreciate that additional context because it was fun to see him clean out. He's an interesting character. Read through his Wikipedia bio, which has to be 100% true because it's on the internet, and seems to be quite the character.
Yeah. Well, I plan on going to his IMDb and getting a list of films that he's been involved with together, and then I'm planning on making sure as long as I can find them on Netflix for free, I will watch every single one of those. And so how does that work, Mike? Do you know, like every time a movie gets viewed, does he get any kind of payback for that?
When a movie's on Netflix?
Yeah.
So Netflix licensed the films.
So he's already been paid.
Yeah, typically they'll pay up front for it. There is times you can work out a licensing agreement that will get you something additional if the film, does above and beyond certain numbers.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, I'm sure his films aren't doing that, so I'm not putting any extra coin in his pocket. And if he wants to box me, I'm gonna pick a champion. So that's where I'm standing on that.
Mike will be your champion. That should be a T-shirt. That should be a T-shirt, Mike.
I was actually thinking about using the assistant and his Jedi sword to get in there. like he's all geared up with his boxing gloves, and Dylan's got all this equipment on, and then all of a sudden he just whips out a lightsaber and starts whacking him over the head with it. That would be funny. I'd watch that over and over and over again.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So are we done with this, Mike?
Yeah, unless you guys have anything to add to it, then I think it's time that we take a fist break. And you're listening to SnarkAlec Radio on Live 365's Loud and Loaded station, and we'll be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to SnarkAlec Radio on Live 365's Loud and Loaded station. Joining us, as always, is Tony Solo and the Kelly Tool. And joining us tonight, our very special guest, Dylan Lang.
Hey, so I'm going to modify again the Kelly, and I appreciate you honoring the Kelly because you need to. But I'm also thinking we might want to modify slightly to the Kelly Pine Baron, because I think that would be
The Pine Baron.
The Pine Baron.
That should be your boxer name when you go against Uwe Ball.
So Mike. Hey, Mike.
Yes, sir. Yes.
If I was you, I might check my Twitter feed because I think Laura Norman already beat you to a Kelly-based shirt. She tweeted out a picture of it. And while Mike is checking his Twitter feed so he could see that picture also, which I did retweet, maybe we want to start talking about Full Metal Zombie, which is the latest episode of V Nation.
Now, this I screwed up on. I did not get a chance to watch Z Nation. So you guys are going to have to tell me. You're going to have to, just like Kelly, I don't know if I want to watch Batman. You guys are going to have to tell me.
Gotham?
Was it worth watching this episode? Yeah, he didn't know, and Dylan, if you aren't familiar, Kelly wasn't sure if Gotham was going to be awesome.
Oh yeah, I was here that the first time we were discussing that. So yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad he got onto that.
Nice retention there, Mike. Whoa.
You're the one questioning Batman.
Yeah,
we had that discussion.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Amy Glitters is done with her run and has joined us, and so had tweeted back to her. But Amy, you got some nice props earlier in the show, and you got big fans on SnarkAlec Radio. So thanks for joining us tonight.
I second those remarks. And yeah, so Full Metal Zombie. So, wow. I'm going to say, in my humble opinion, best episode yet. Better than the opening. It's definitely a must-watch. It was non-stop action.
So wait, then on a scale of 1 to 10 or banana bread, where would you put it?
Irish soda bread is where I would put it. Irish soda bread, fresh out of the oven. If you've ever had Irish soda bread. Oh, dude.
I thought the Irish just drink.
Dude.
It'd be like Irish booze bread.
Okay. Yeah, go out and get yourself
listeners out there.
Go out and get yourself some Irish soda bread, and nice and hot out of the oven. Put some butter on it and eat that sucker up, and then you tell me that it's almost like eating freaking.
My name.
Okay, yeah. Whatever you said, Kelly, because it sounded like.
Oh, I was gonna say maybe Irish soda bread should be my boxing name. So.
Nah, I still like the Pine Baron. Trust your instincts. You got it right the first time.
Yeah. So, yeah, they get hijacked right at the beginning of the episode. Some dudes come by, and they end up having to give up the truck. So what they've got, I think they end up, if I remember correctly, in like a Volkswagen Beetle or something like that, like this really small car.
It was all jazzed up, but like the motor was like the top was off the motor, and they're just sort of sitting. Yeah, it was like almost like a go-kart at like an amusement park or something like that they were riding in.
Yeah, I mean, it was almost like a kid riding a bike with somebody sitting on the handlebars, you know. So that's how the show starts out. Then they drive down the road a little bit further, and the dudes that jacked their truck are being jacked by these other people. So here comes our heroes to the rescue. They end up getting in the middle of this Mexican standoff, and they start.
So this is a double jacking situation.
It becomes a triple jack, because they get the dudes that jack them first, and then they're like, okay, we'll see you guys, and they're like, no, that's ours, and then they get jacked again. So it ends up being is that a double jack or a triple jack?
There's a lot of dudes jacking in this episode.
And just the fact that it was the family with the little kids just blasting away.
Whoa.
Yes, there was some children involved in the jacking, which makes it a little bit sicker.
Yeah, so jacking aside, it was pretty awesome to have the what were they, like 10?
Something like that, yeah.
10-year-old kids packing serious firepower and not afraid to use it.
And then, and what happens after that is then they're riding down the road again, and then they see the family get eaten by the zombies.
Yes.
And they get their truck back.
And they get their truck back, which is like, okay, it brought it full around. This is like in the first 5 minutes of the show. You know what I mean? So you had all this stuff going on, and I can't remember how Z gets in contact with them.
It's through a drive-in, like a fast food drive-in speaker thing. They were able. It's like a McDonald's drive-in speaker thing, but it looks like a troll or something. I don't know. They're a gnome or something, and they're able to jury rig it so they get in touch with him.
Which I called, which and I tweeted it at the time. It was like, those things can't even convey sound from where you're at into the building where you're getting the food. So how in the hell does this thing get to the increasingly creepy Citizen Z?
Yeah, if I had to say something, that might have been the weakest part of the episode. They seem to just use that for padding a little bit. The whole being obsessed with was Audrey.
Addie,
yeah, and doing the whole Twitter conversation between the two of them. That was kind of bizarre.
But then the balance of the episode is spent with them trying to, because with a satellite photo, Citizen Z was able to spot a helicopter on the roof of this building. So he was trying to get them to the helicopter because, of course, they had a helicopter pilot with them, and they'd be able to fly at least part of the way to California on the helicopter. And that's where the stuff really starts hitting the fan. But it really was, without giving too much away for douchebag who didn't watch the show, I don't want to give that away.
That's you.
Thank you for the clarification, Kelly.
Yeah.
I liked the episode. This is, I agree with you. I haven't been the biggest fan of Z Nation, but this was probably my favorite episode and probably the best one I've seen. And I think one of the main reasons why is because you focus on what I feel are the two more interesting characters in the show, 10K and the Doc. And it's the two of them. You get a little bit more insight into both of their characters, and that's why it really sold it for me. And it was fantastic. I love the episode.
So we've got to talk about the duct scene for Mike, because I think he will have some appreciation of that.
So, well, they have to make some kind of exchange just to get in to see the general, and they weren't going to get. Is he a general or a colonel? He was a
general. I think he was a general. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A crazy ass general.
Yeah, he was a crazy ass general. But then, when one of, I think it may have been 10K, calls him Doc. It may have been Garnett that called him Doc. The guy's like, "You're a doctor?" So he is able to go up and see the general, who proceeds to show him his leg, which is getting gangrenous. And Doc says, hey, that leg's got to come off. And he's like, that's what all the... And now, meanwhile, he's out of his friggin' mind. And that's what every other doctor said. So Doc ends up going down this air duct where he's suspended by some BX electrical cable, and right next to him is another zombie that's trying to get at him. And what does Doc do, Kel?
So Mike, so Doc has some what has now become legal in some states and also prescribed in others. He has some special medication that he can light up, and so he's dangling close to a zombie who's confined with some conduit that can't quite get to him, but they're fairly close. And so he lights up a J and starts to enjoy it, and then starts blowing the smoke into the zombie's face.
He basically shotgunned a zombie, which is like the first time a zombie has ever gotten high in anything I've ever seen before.
I love how he eats the cigarette. I love how he at the end just sort of gulps it down and just becomes totally.
Flips the left part of the joint into the zombie's mouth. Sweet.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and my comment at that point was, okay, yeah, so now you're giving the zombie munchies. Smart move there, Doc. It's not like he's trying to eat you. I gotta say, really enjoyed it. It was again, best episode yet.
Did either of you, Dylan, since Mike didn't watch it, and I can't ask him this question because he didn't watch it. So Mike, don't worry about this question because you didn't watch it. But Tony and Dylan, who did watch it, did you think Doc was gone or not?
I thought Doc was done because they showed the explosion going down through the duct. But when he came out at the end, oh, sorry, Mike, spoiler, I wasn't surprised that he came back out because I think it might be too early for them to kill off one of the core cast, if they're going to kill off anybody. I think they'd have to pick up some more people to their group before they start maybe getting rid of some of these characters, if they are going to.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Cal. I was just gonna say, yeah, I agree with Tony on that. I at first saw it, I was like, really, they're gonna do this early on? But I was like, well, I guess they're just trying to say, okay, no one's safe. I mean, they killed Harold Perrineau in the first episode, who I thought was going to be a regular in the show. So the fact that it apparently appears that he kicks the bucket, it didn't surprise me at times. Like, okay, maybe they're going to just start doing this, and then when he comes back out, that I started thinking, like, no, they're not going to do him as a zombie. He's got to be okay. And then the minute when he shows that he is, and it's like, yeah, I mean, it's good that they did it this early. We're going to take Cal.
So this is, and Mike can actually contribute to this part of the conversation, even though he didn't watch the last episode. So loss of the core group, it's just the thing that I was kind of struck by, because I was figuring, like, I bet you Doc's okay. He's going to come out at the end. I didn't want to positive, but I kind of felt like he was going to show back up. But my thinking around, I mean, it feels different for me. If we lose one of these characters, it's a whole different feeling for me than when you lose a Walking Dead character. And I didn't know if you guys feel that, and maybe it's just a time thing that you haven't had enough time to kind of start to build up kind of an understanding of the character, but it would be less of an issue if and I'm glad Doc's around because he's a cool character, but if a couple of these folks dropped off, it's less of a big deal to me versus Shane going or Andrea going or those types of things. So, Tony, any of you, similar attitude or not?
Oh,
I agree. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree with that too. Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, let's. We were going to talk about Walking Dead, so we could talk about both now. With Z Nation, We don't know anything about anybody's past really except for Murphy. We know a little bit about 10K's background, and I'm sure through flashbacks we'll learn more about the characters, but I don't think we have enough invested in these characters as we do in the Walking Dead characters for us to care as much. Everybody seems to like Doc. Everybody seems to like 10K. Garnett, don't know anything about him. The other chick, don't know too much about her. Addie and the other young guy seem to be kind of together. I mean, like they talk stuff about each other. But again, don't really care about any of them. I mean, Murphy is hateable, which is good. You know, like to have a hateable character. But no,
Murphy is not hateable at all. He's awesome.
Cal, when I say he's hateable, he's hateable. When I
You're
say
wrong.
that, he's chicken shit. Okay, the guy shit himself when there was one zombie knocking on the glass. I understand what he went through, but he's a chicken shit piece of shit, and because of his inaction, he's going to get either Doc or 10K killed, and when that happens, you're going to say, Tony, you were right. Murphy's a piece of shit.
No, I won't.
Okay.
You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong.
Okay,
Murphy's the best character on the show.
Okay, now, I think Doc is the best character on the show. I don't care about any of the other people. Murphy, unfortunately, Murphy is going to be the one who probably outlives everybody because without him, there is no purpose to the show. Unless it turns into, hey, let's rescue Citizen Z, or let's go to where Citizen Z is because he's got 1,000 years worth of stakes up there, where he's hit out. So.
Yeah, and the other thing, Mike, you didn't see it yet, but Citizen Z does what you do, is that has imaginary conversations with himself, which is so you're going to enjoy that too.
But those conversations always yield creative fruit, such as the Kelly Tool-inspired T-shirt that'll come out on Sunday. And with that, we're going to take a quick break. You're listening to SnarkAlec Radio on Live 365's Loud and Loaded station. Tony, Kelly, Dylan, and myself will all be right back. And welcome back to SnarkAlec Radio on Live 365's Loud and Loaded station. We have Tony, Dylan, Kelly in a location with a censored photo behind him that we can only assume is a nude selfie. And, of course, I'm here as well to moderate the madness that's about to happen.
You incorrectly named me there, Mike. You want to try that again and get it right this time? How do you refer to me now?
Oh, I'm sorry. The Pine Baron.
Thank you.
I do like that. The Pine Baron is a great name.
I might change my Twitter handle.
So, are we done with Z Nation, or is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
Well, I mean, as long as we're on the topic of zombies, do you want to use that to segue into a little Walking Dead talk?
Yes, why don't we do that? And
Since Tony's using it as a birthday gift, right?
Yes, Holly, if you did not catch us right at the beginning, for your 18th birthday that's coming up on Sunday, I am giving you a new season of The Walking Dead. No need to tag me.
That's incredibly generous of you.
I know, but there's no need to tag me.
I didn't know people could give new seasons of shows. Wait a minute. Kelly, did you give me the new season of Twin Peaks?
No.
Don't you play coy with me?
Let me reflect a little bit more on. I definitely want to give you a TV series, but let me think of the most appropriate one. There's no Die Bastard Die show, is there? I'll think about it. There will be one. So, Walking Dead.
So predictions. We're in a little bit of a pickle, or a train car.
So I'm thinking, my theory is that the Terminus folks are actually Amway salespeople, and that what's going to basically happen is they're going to put like a really hard sell on the folks to start to buy products, and they're not going to want any of it. Daryl's going to be like, I don't want any of that damn Amway, and it's going to be quite a spirited argument. So that's my prediction.
I say that Terminus is actually a timeshare, and they're going to be forced to watch a presentation video before they let them out of that train car.
I was gonna say, yeah, that is one way. I'm sorry, I was just reading a tweet that's from Tori McAllister saying, "Oh my God, I want to see a nude selfie of Tony Solo." No, that's not gonna happen.
So that's the one person on the
When
planet.
do we get to Tony's shirt?
Oh boy, Mike, we may be parting ways soon, Mike. We may just be parting ways. But seriously, other than a trip to Florida, to buy some swampland, how do you guys think they're gonna? Is it going to be Tyrese and Carol that ultimately spring them? Because there's no way they're going to overpower anybody that's trying to come in there.
Tyrese and Carol are going to get captured as well, but Judith, who we know is really a hormonally challenged prisoner, escapes, lets them out, thereby revealing his true identity.
Okay, so what you're saying is maybe Judith is muling a weapon that they can use to get out of there?
Hey, we've all been to prison here, and we all know how to cheek it.
Okay, I've never been to prison, and I've never had to do
Kelly,
whatever
back
it
me
is
up
you-
here.
He's right.
I have a really, really bad feeling that Glenn's going to die. Only because, and I think, Tony, I don't think you don't watch like a lot of the trailers or the stuff beforehand, right? You like going in fresh?
I stay away from that because not that they give stuff away, but I don't want to see what's coming up. I want to have everything. I want to be hit with everything. One of the reasons why I don't watch The Talking Dead, because they give shit away. I watched it once. I saw Andrea, and I predicted her death, and Kelly was like, "No, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong." What happened? She freaking died. Just like I'm going to be right about friggin' Murphy getting Doc killed, I'm right about Andrea being dead.
I gotta be honest with you, I don't know who watches those shitty after shows anyway.
Yeah. The following Tony's recap was filmed in Tony Vision, which greatly accentuates the differences between there. And so I hope you all enjoyed that recounting of the story.
So nobody watches those after shows, those talking shows, Mike?
Nobody that I know.
Those
Okay.
are crap. Those are crap. Bunch of hacks do those.
Yeah, I hear ya. That's why one of the reasons why I don't, and it's usually a comedian that hosts those things anyway, or a couple of guys who think they're funny.
Yeah,
Or
whoever
three
the
guys.
main host is, though, that guy's always an asshole.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and if he usually wears a beard too, for some reason.
What a dick.
But
So-
he just hasn't appeared in a lot of the advertising and stuff like that for us. So I just have, a pretty bad feeling. I mean, I've heard things about this season premiere. It's going to answer a lot of questions. It's also going to be very brutal. So we'll find out Sunday, I suppose.
I'm just holding out for the Walking Dead Family Guy crossover episode.
That would be. Yeah, like all the zombies avoid Meg. They won't have anything to do with her.
Yeah, I'm just hoping for hey, people have to die. It just seems to me that there are way too many of these people for them to get out of this unscathed. So I mean, Dill, you may be right. I know they've been putting out a lot of pictures and stuff, but they're still filming and they're still coming out with Glenn. That doesn't mean he's not dead, because they could be doing flashbacks and stuff. I actually on Face Off, they had Herschel on this week. I don't know if you watched it, Kel, but Scott Wilson was on, and he's still sporting that ponytail. Okay. So I'm thinking there's a possibility that he is still around with him in flashbacks. So, anything is possible.
Was that specially retitled Head Off for Herschel?
No. But the funny thing is, what they had to do was they did Greek gods. Okay, and the Greek gods had to slay a monster. And they had to actually do a head makeup. So each Greek god was holding a head. So how messed up is Face Off, where they all had to do a head. So that was the tie-in to Herschel, I guess.
And the thing is, he was actually really good. He made what they didn't show all his comments, but he made a couple of really interesting comments when they were checking out the makeups that they were like, oh, I didn't even think about that. And so he wasn't just there like, oh, look, it's Herschel, haha, head off, we get it. Yeah. But no, he actually had some interesting things to say about the makeups.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was a little bit strange that they had like an actor on it, but then when you think about it, he's been on Walking Dead for 2+ seasons, so he's been around a lot of makeup people, and sometimes when you're just standing around, or when you're having your own makeup done, you pick up things, they tell you things, and you learn stuff. So I guess by just by being close to it, you learn some stuff. Yeah, especially if you're curious and ask questions, people love to tell you about their work and what they do. So exactly, he made some really excellent comments. Like, he was saying stuff, and Glenn and Neville were shaking their head. But the funniest thing, okay, now this is taking us a little bit off topic. At one point, Mike, and you would have appreciated this, Neville made a comment about one of the heads. Because, and the comment was, it was Sasha's head. She decided that she was going to do Medusa's head, and her goddess was Athena, and Athena looked at the head and she turned to stone, and Medusa was controlling Athena. And Neville's comment was, it looks like a Japanese anime sex doll head. And my response to that was, well, how the hell does Neville know what a Japanese anime sex doll looks like for him to call that a Japanese anime sex doll head? It was pretty funny.
I actually do watch Face Off, and I'm also quite familiar with Japanese sex dolls. So,
great name.
so did you have that same impression then, that it looked like a Japanese anime sex doll head?
So I wasn't sure when he was saying it. I could see it a little bit, so I went in, I unlatched mine from the radiator, and I just got so caught up in the moment that I forgot why I was in there.
I think it had something to do with the way the mouth was kind of open and shaped. That could have been one of the things, but
Can you
I don't
make
want
the face?
No, I cannot, because this is
No?
yeah. This is a radio show, so that wouldn't play too well on the radio.
It's just for
but
me, Tony.
Yes, I know it is. That's why I'm not doing it.
It's not for the listeners at home.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So going into tonight's show, the one thing I didn't think we were going to be talking about was Japanese anime sex dolls. So
that's the wonder of SnarkAlec Radio. You never know what you're going to talk about.
Well,
that was not on the agenda.
We went from Z Nation to Walking Dead to Herschel on Face Off to Neville's comment. So there was a flow of the conversation there. So
And I have to be honest with you, I can
was
always
here.
divert the
I was here.
conversation to sex dolls.
There you go.
So with that, are we done? Are we done with predictions, Mike? Predictions. Judith is going to get them out of the boxcar. Kelly says that what?
Well, I said they were Amway. if they're not Amway, I think for the first episode, and what you've read and they've talked about is that a lot of stuff gets resolved pretty quick in this episode, and this whole episode is almost like a movie in terms of intensity. So my guess is that our whole crew that's in that train car is going to no longer be in the train car and be back kind of as an active group by the end of the show, and I don't think we're going to lose any major characters in the first episode, but that's just a guess.
See, joking aside, though, I think they're going to try to force them into making zombie on human softcore videos.
Okay, and I don't think that works.
It's been unexplored territory, I believe.
So something like Z Nation would probably
actually, it's
do
pretty well explored. I have.
Well, here goes a question I want answered, because everybody is assuming that Sanctuary, where they're at now, these are the people that are the cannibals. There was a cannibal episode already in Z Nation, so let's talk about both of them. Z Nation and Walking Dead has the same kind of zombie idea that when you die you will turn. So that's why in Z Nation they were actually flaying the people alive. And one of the, we talked about this last week, the zombie movie with the island, and I can't remember the name of it, I'm sorry, but guy and a girl with a little boy get in a boat, get out to this island, and they find out that they're using anesthesia to put people to sleep, and they're flaying them alive also and eating them.
Ice castles.
No, it's not ice castles.
Ice Castles 2, The Revenge.
The Revenge of the Nerdy Zombies. Yeah, no. So basically, the idea is you can't eat fish because as soon as the fish die, they zombify, and if you eat a zombified fish, you will become zombie. Same thing in Z Nation. Wouldn't the same rules apply in The Walking Dead if when you die you will turn?
Yeah, I think though. I know they're not skewing towards the comics on this one, but in the comics they attack Dale. Dale died, earlier in the TV show, but in the comics he was actually attacked by the cannibals, and they actually, instead of him getting his leg removed because of the zombie bite, rather that was Herschel, but still, the cannibals ate his leg while he was still alive. So I'm wondering if maybe they're going to be using a very similar plot thread as well, because if they do turn out to be the cannibals, they're cooking stuff on the grill, and you've got them in the train car, so I guess maybe you could slice and dice.
I have to be honest with you, if I pass someone cooking something on a grill, I kind of assume it's human.
So, and I'm not sure, Dylan, from the comic, because I think Dale actually was shy one leg when
yeah, that's right. He was. Yeah, he got the other one. That's right. Yeah, but he did get the other one. Yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm.
But I'd be interested in knowing if you were, and I'm not suggesting you will, but if you were to prepare human for the family for a little dinner, what would be your preparation? I'd be interested in hearing from everybody here how you would prepare human. What would be your approach,
okay.
Tony?
Well, first of all, I was kind of thinking that if you had a guillotine type situation and you severed the head from the body, maybe you could prevent the zombification from coming. So if you did that, the head would be severed, the head would zombify, and then maybe the body would still be kind of fresh. But whenever I cook any kind of meat, I really don't do too much to it. I just usually do a little bit of salt and pepper and throw it on the grill and keep on turning it. I don't like to use sauces or stuff like that. I like to put that stuff on later. But I like my meat to be, so there is no preparation. Just turn on the grill and just start cooking.
Okay. Dylan?
I kind of like the sauces to begin with, so I would probably do barbecue. Actually, I think a barbecue would be nice. and there's like different things you can do. I mean, you could basically, if we taste like chicken, you can basically make anything with humans. So basically, you have grilled chicken on the grill, or you can chop it up, and make a barbecue sandwich out of it. It might be pretty good. But yeah, I think probably the best option is because grilling is just fantastic. It'd probably be grilling also, but I would put the sauces. I'd have the sauces applied first and then do it. That's just the way I am.
Okay, and I'm eagerly awaiting Mike.
To me, human preparation is all about the wine selection.
Nice bottle of Chianti. Some
I would go with like a Coppola Reserve.
You want to know something? I respect your choice of a Coppola Reserve, but I think his wines are overpriced because I think you're actually paying for the name there.
I agree. They are good, but yeah, you are paying so much for the name.
Yeah, I agree. The wines are fantastic, but yeah, it's $20 some cases. It's like, wow, a little bit too much.
Yeah, it's over. If I'm going to spend that kind of money on a wine, I'm going to buy a really good wine. Hey, I've spent almost $11 for the big bottle. So.
Okay, so I would go with Peat Loaf myself.
Okay, that was a long way to go for that joke there, dude.
Well, I wanted to hear it, and I thought, that seems about right.
So, with that, I guess we'll find out on Sunday what's going on. So, you ready to wrap this sucker up?
Yeah, unless you guys have anything else to add, do you?
I don't know if you guys saw that they renewed it for a 6th season now, so there is going to be another season of Walking Dead come up after this one. I mean, it's pretty much a no-brainer, but they officially announced it today that a 6th season has been picked up on it.
Okay, and I don't know if you've heard this one, but we've been motherfucked. They renewed Under the Dome for a 3rd season, and they actually renewed Extant for a 2nd season, so that would be interesting.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I liked it because there was nothing else going on, dude. I just hope they don't put it in that 10 o'clock time slot because I'd rather them, I like Z Nation on at 10 on a Friday. I don't like anything else on at 10 o'clock. So right now everything is cool. So
well, next week, though, aren't we having a full frontal zombie show?
No, we're having a full metal zombie, The Walking Dead, with Bronwyn is going to be on. She was going to try and make it on tonight, but today is Thanksgiving Day in Canada. So, they need to check their calendar. Thanksgiving is not until next month, but...
Also, Thanksgiving's ours. We stole Native Americans' land, not you. Stop trying to steal our thunder.
Yeah, and we're thankful for that, okay? We're thankful for stealing real estate. But then again, remember, Bronwyn actually is a U.S. citizen now because I claimed her. So, and actually, I've got a bone to pick with Dylan because he had her on Dylan Knows, and he did not get our permission after we claimed her. So we're going to have to, we may have to have a turf war with Dylan over
Things
that.
are going to get rough.
Yeah, really. I mean, come on, we're peacemakers here on SnarkAlec Radio. We stopped the war between the U.S. and Canada, and there goes Dylan trying to start a war between all of the United States and Maryland.
The war between the Snarks, absolutely.
Yeah, and you want to know something? I do not think that the governor is going to back you up. Okay, you're not even going to have the Baltimore PD come to help you. Okay, and we know how good they are.
This could be the worst civil war in U.S. history.
Be the shortest one, I'll tell you that much. So, next week, we're going to go full zombie Walking Dead Z Nation with Bronwyn. We may even talk about surviving the zombie apocalypse with her because we never had that conversation. We were stopping a war the first time she was on.
That's right. And it's going to be cool, too, because we can discuss our Halloween costumes, which Kelly agreed to, Nazi zombies.
Okay, and I told you Kelly was not going to agree to that, and there was no way I was going to be a Nazi zombie. But we can talk about that offline.
Yeah, I'm surprisingly more open to that than you might think.
Okay, so Mike, why don't you tell him what option B is?
Well, I don't want to give away option B just yet, but especially if you're into the Nazi zombie idea. I figured
Okay.
based on the films that we were watching,
Okay.
this is not an endorsement of Nazis.
Yeah, to be clear.
just so we're perfectly clear here, we do not endorse Nazis. We are zombie versions of Nazis because they were rightfully killed.
Okay. So bring out your geek. Check them out. Check out Gene's Vimeos that Mike puts up. I think he's putting them up. They're on YouTube too, I believe. Nurture and Support coming out tomorrow, Kel?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there'll be a new Nurture and Support for you people to check out. Dylan knows tomorrow night. A little Dylan told me. At 9 o'clock with Jerry Fletcher. They're doing lists, and 2 more assistant episodes are dropping on Monday.
Actually, I think only one is. I think I'm going to take a little hiatus. It'll be episode 13, and then I'll take a week hiatus because the episode I'm going to be doing on Monday is basically kind of the end game of the first act, and then take a little breather, and then the second act starts up. So that's not written in stone yet, but right now that's the plan I have.
But it's going to be a short break, though. You're not pulling this fucking...
Yeah, oh yeah, no, it's going to be 1 week, and that's going to be about it. I'll be back like on the 21st, 24th, whatever that Monday is in October. So it should be 1 week at most, just so I can get caught up a little bit, too. Because I have a very... I don't have a lot of episodes done, so I need to start cranking some more of those out and getting some time to do that, so...
Okay. All right, and last but not least, check out the SnarkAlec website. It needs a lot of work, so hey, check it out.
We should do that. Work on that.
Yeah, and the other thing that we didn't do, and I didn't do a lot of tweeting on it, so I have no idea what kind of activity we got, but never got to the responses for Rating Z Nation. Actually, we only got 2. And actually, yeah, I can read it real quick. Anyway, I can't. Anyway, 2 thumbs up. We'll save it for next week. I'm going to leave that one up there. I'm just going to modify it a little bit for episode 5 and 6, and we could talk about it next week. I'll promote that a little bit more because I didn't tweet it out a lot, so people didn't hit it up. So, having said that, I think we're done. We're done. So sad. Don't forget to watch us next week.
And
Kelly,
we give you mercy.